Hello everyone, I'm Steven. No need to put on airs or anything. You can see that I didn't even really go and do anything special because I'm sitting here working on my computers and whatnot, getting work done, including what should have been the video that should be up today. I apologize the video isn't up. We're still doing the members only chat tonight, but I wanted to give you an update so that you guys would know what we're discussing in the members only chat. So of course, this is a members only community post. After the members only chat is finished tonight, which if you miss seeing this post before we get to the stream tonight, I'll just tell people to go look at the community post on my channel and they'll find it. Members only, current members only are the only ones that will be able to get to this video right now. So what's going on? What is it that I was going to release today? Well, I said that there are 3 new series that are coming out on the channel. You've already seen one of them. It's called The Everyman's Guide. And I'll explain why titles are so important because I'm going to need your help in 2 different ways. The Everyman's Guide, I'll need your input at least. The Everyman's Guide is doing well. It's something that was advised to me that I should have done a long time ago because of ways that I go about games and I don't use guides. Because of those 2 things, YouTube has come barking down my door saying that, that's something you should probably pursue. They said it on a different series, but this was the first time that I realized that people were really having trouble getting S plus when I was able to do it. And that I had taken so many notes that I could whittle down those notes down to a science and then make a guide about it that hopefully would help out everyone. That is the first of series. So, if you have suggestions for more Everyman's Guides, please comment below on this members only post. I'm sorry if that you're a donor, but I will only put this video up in the donor section of my Discord after the members only stream is over, because I don't want anyone that's in the donors post not to be able to speak up. It'd feel unfair that I'm giving you all this information if you're just a donor and then you're not allowed to speak your mind in a members only post. So do you see where I'm coming from? I hope you see where I'm coming from. So remember, you feel free to tell me in the Everyman's Guide games that are hard for people to beat and unlock something or get a special something that people obviously want. Like it was really easy to see people want the minigun, people want the rocket launcher, so it makes sense to do it for Resident Evil 2. And I was able to put all of my notes to use, and that's why they got more and more complicated because it was leading up to this guide. So the Everyman's Guide, and plus, remember, we're about to talk about titles. Titles are going to be important. We're now looking at thousands of people across both YouTube and Google, according to my analytics, now literally searching for the words Everyman's Guide to try to find me. So this is why it's going to be important when I ask for your help for one of two of these things. The first thing I'm asking for help on is that for the Everyman's Guide series, there's going to be a series of it. Think of games that are, again, hard to achieve. Not just platinum trophies. Let's get that out of the way. Not just system-specific trophies or accolades. Things that in the game would make the game more fun or make you really feel like you completed the game in a way that felt impossible before. Like getting a minigun, which is really fun to use in the game. A platinum trophy on PS4 is not really fun to use in the game. It's just to get cred. So, think of games. Try to give me some ideas, especially ones that I haven't played before or ones that I played and I told people, do not give me spoilers, let me figure it out. If it really warrants a guide like that, I'll go ahead and make a guide on how an everyman, somebody just like me that's normal that will take notes and do trial and error, can whittle it down into something like not somewhere between science and a sprinkle of luck, but whittle it down into something that anyone can do simply because I just took very good notes and I figured out what the thing does and does not do. And you're able to repeat what I'm doing because you don't have to be a professional gamer. Even though I do this as a living, as part of my living, I'm not a professional gamer. Let's talk about this second series that won't premiere yet. I won't tell the title of it, but what we're going to be doing for that series is that it's going to be more than just video games. I'll finally give you guys what you've been asking for. The analytical side of me looking at things, and it's not just video games. I'll give you a teaser for it. It's the LGBT community done correctly in media. So we're not just talking about video games. And I have 3 very, very specific points and places to make a point about where it's done extremely correctly. because many times it's done down to a stereotype, which actually drives people away from the medium, or downplays the story, or takes away from the story completely, because all of a sudden now you're focusing too much on the wrong things, when it sometimes should just be a side note of a character that is a character building plot point, but not the reason why the plot moves forward. Get it? Like, it helps you connect to who they are and who they should be, but you know, being gay or lesbian does not define who you are. It's just a sexual preference. And many times the media in general, whether it be games or two other mediums that will be brought into that video, they get it very, very wrong. And they turn it into a stereotype, and it takes away from what they're trying to do. I'm going to point out, like, in things like that, that's an idea of, like, me going outside video games. Of course, I'm going to do it on video games also, where I analyze characters, I analyze plot points, I do the analysis that people... Oh, crap. And my camera decided to do its whole... I've been on more than 30 minutes and I didn't set it right. So here I am back immediately. I'm going to do it on games I've done and whatnot, and explanations. Of course, I should have done this a long time ago, and I will go ahead and probably backtrack and retitle one of the ones I've already done. I've already actually done story theories, explanations on things like Outlast 2. But even I got Outlast 2 a little bit wrong, because Joy, one of our members, pointed out that in the ending, there was another ending that I didn't get. I ended up getting the best ending, so my assumption was based on that. Now that I know the full story of what the other ending could have been, I actually got the theory right in the comments. That's beside the point. There is a title to that. I already know the title. The third thing that was supposed to come out today was compilations. Let me tell you really quickly why my compilations are different from what you're used to. One, they're all going to be based on compilations of things I've done before. So it would be good for new members to be able to see just kind of how I go about games in general, whether they're scary games and they see me screaming my pants off, or they're serious games and they see me analyze. But the most important part is that I was going to open it up with The Last of Us. You can see why me waking up a little bit, not feeling well, waking up late because of that, and seeing that it wouldn't be to its full polish. If I'm going to start off a new series like that, I'm not going to screw it up on The Last of Us. And let me say, let me try to say, and this is spoilers if you haven't seen The Last of Us, so cover your ears for just 2 seconds here. I'll put my finger up right here while I'm talking about anything that's spoilers right here for The Last of Us. And when the finger goes down, you can open your ears back up again. So, if it gives you any idea of how I'm going about it, I'm going to try to start it off with giving people all different sides of how I work. From me joking around to me being serious to me actually just making comments that end up coming true because I accidentally predicted plot lines. So, you know, for example, there's a part where I just, Elle is being treated like a pet by Joel to be taken care of. Not only by her, but by Marlene and stuff like that. I made a comment, is this going to be like a pet or something? It's going to cut to, it's not going to be, it's going to cut to toward the end of the game where David calls her pretty much a pet. Like, actually calls her that. And then there's going to be actual arcs to these kind of things. So, for example, this compilation that's coming out, there's going to be an arc to that spans from part 2 all the way to the final part of the game, part 16 of my playthrough, of me talking about from what's her normal to that her normal is immune, that I figure out that, you know, the cordyceps, I know about it, to me in part 12 starting to questioning what the cure is, part 13 where I break down the science, and then getting into part 16, what does all that mean? There's a theme in my compilation, and then the next part is that's all together. So I'm not going to go part 1, here are the highlights, part 2, here are the highlights. I'm not going to do a highlights reel, and yet I still am doing a highlights reel. It's just that it's thematic. So that's how the compilations will be different from what you usually see, where people just do all the laughs, or they do all the jumps, or they do all the everything. The most I will actually start showing a theme that's in there, and me doing a compilation of all the big moments will be involved. But you can't just show a big moment without leading up to some other things that are actually a bit of a big moment also when put into context. So when I do something like put a big moment of, let's say, for example, Ellie having to finally, finger should go back up for spoilers for The Last of Us. Ellie finally having to kill a human being. There is an actual highlight reel. There should be included her having to do that, between that, the way Joel reacts, and then finally the pretty much the best that she's going to get to of a thank you, all of those are going to be included. I have to skip around a bit, but all of them will be lumped together because they belong in a compilation of a highlight reel, but they belong together in context. Another example of that is the ranch scene. The ranch scene is much more poignant if you include some of the things in previous parts that lead up to that scene. This is where I need you guys' help. So, in the stream tonight, the only thing we'll be discussing in the stream tonight, actually in the chat of the stream, are things that you would want to see me pick my brain over for the second series I talked about, where I'm actually going to do analysis. I'm going to analyze things that are even outside of the medium of games, but games I've played, analyze story arcs, characters, plot points, whatever. Things that other people would look over, but you noticed in my walkthrough or my playthrough of a game, I did not look over it, and you would like me to expound upon it. This is where members can chime up, and I can hear you say, I would love to hear more of your thoughts about this, and make sure that I didn't already give like really comprehensive thoughts, or that if I did, that it really would warrant its own video. And we're going to try to keep those kind of videos, you know, in YouTube standard of like 30 minutes to an hour at most. The compilations, again, 30 minutes at most to an hour. Everyman's guides, however long they need to be. So, pick my brain on what you want to hear, my thoughts, my take on it. And again, it's my take on a lot of things. How I see characters progress, how I see things unfold, how I see plots come about. Let me know in the members only chat, in the live stream, what you want my brain to be picked about. In the chat, only here on the community post, and then in the donors post after the members only chat stream is over today. Tell me in only this what you would like to see more Everyman's Guides for, and try to remember, again, not for trophies, not for anything else, but to unlock things or do special things that really would feel like an accomplishment, but are really, really hard to do, and most guides just do not help. Because they assume that you're a perfect gamer, period. The last one is, I don't know what to title the compilations. Help me out. Only in this comments again, here, not in the members only chat at the live stream. In the comments here, any idea for a title for the compilation series will be deleted during the members only chat. So if you put out an idea for the compilation during the members only chat, I'm very sorry if it gets deleted. That is not what we're talking about. We're only picking my brain on what you want to see in my series, on where I break down plot points, analyze characters, or analyze things, whether they be video games or other medium other than video games that I would be interested in covering, because I also need to be interested in it to do it right. But that is what we're talking about live tonight. Picking my brain on what you want to see my brain picked on for me to give you guys more content and in that series. So we've got the Everyman's Guide series, the one where I analyze things, and I'm not telling you the title of it. It'll be a surprise when the first one comes out. And I've given you an example of it, LGBT done correctly in the media. In the media of, you know, more than just video games. But I'll give you very specific examples in that video. And the compilation, give me down here ideas for the name, if you've got any. It needs to have the word compilation in it. You know how asinine it would be if every single title, and remember, I only have 100 characters to work with to title a YouTube video. So that's why the Everyman's Guide works, because it doesn't take up everything. I can still put in what the Everyman's Guide is about. My other title works because it's short enough that I can still put in the rest of it. And it's memorable. Remember, those two things are now memorable. There are things that even I could try to go trademark, copyright, whatever. Try to make it so that if somebody else tries to use a title like that, they're going to have to prove that they're doing something very much different on YouTube to show that I can't say you need to change the title of what you're doing, which is possible, but very hard to do because YouTube is a very big place with many millions of videos. So, but just like everyone's now searching on Google and YouTube, Everyman's Guide, I'm hoping people will search for the title of this series and not have to know my name. So let's get that struck down right now. When you're giving me ideas for the compilation video, only in the members only chat community post that I'm making right now, below when you're giving me ideas, make sure it's concise and includes the word compilation. I don't want to have to say some random title and then say a compilation of The Last of Us something or other. I don't want to have to do that over and over. I want the word compilation in there because compilation is actually very much searched for, but I also need it to be unique. Darkness compilations is already shot down. I do not want people to immediately know that it's a compilation of only my footage. I want it because that will alienate some people. People can immediately decide either they're a fan of mine and they're not, and they can miss out on it. So that is immediately shot down. It cannot be darkness compilations. It's got to be something that is hopefully poignant and unique. It needs to be unique, so that, you know, when people see that my compilation, the way I'm going to do a compilation is unique, they will start searching for that unique title, and it just happens to have the word compilation in it. And then I can say, you know, The Last of Us as it pertains to the major blah blah blah. I can title it how I need to title it after that. But it's going to be almost like a TV series. Think of it that way. Almost like a TV series. So like the TV series that you might find on the Discovery or on Discovery, because, you know, they've got like Bear Grylls and shit on there, like the Everyman's Guide. They just call it the Everyman's Guide, and it's actually a survivalist guide on Discovery Channel, where it's like how to survive in nature. Or like the title I've got on the other one, I can see the one, my analytical one, being a title for like a legitimate TV show. The compilations one, working in the word compilation, give me something. If you've got something unique, comment it below in this members only community post right now. It can the word compilation I'm hoping to include in it. But think of it as like the TV title of the show. Think of it as it's episodic. So and it's different. It's going to be different. That's why it has to be unique. It's going to be different. And if it does blow up or go anywhere, I don't want people to realize, or rather, I don't want people to sit there and just see my name and then all of a sudden say, oh, it's a compilation of only one guy's stuff. Never mind. I wanted to see a compilation of like a lot of different people reacting to something. So I don't want people to immediately turn off because it's just one YouTuber that they don't know about. And also, I want it to be unique so that if people start talking about it, the unique title is sitting right there, and it's easy to remember. Everyman's Guide, easy to remember, easy to type in. You can even misspell it, and you'll still find me right now on Google and YouTube. Something compilation, something that's easy to just remember. Not a complex word that's hard to spell. Something that's easy, and something that if they misspell it, it's not going to be the biggest thing in the world. They'll still find it because YouTube will recognize the word. You see where I'm coming from? So, to recap really quickly, tonight's stream, pick my brain about games or other medium. It can be graphic novels, it can be TV shows that I would actually be interested in watching if you're going to go that direction. I'll write them all down, but things that you would like to see me do analysis on characters, plot points, but let's try to keep it for games for right now. Do the most you can on games because my channel is a gaming channel. We can expound later. Like I told you, LGBT done correctly in the media is going to be one of them. But let's try to figure out games that we're going to... The Last of Us, of course, is going to be on there. So you don't need to really ask for any of that. Everything that you can think about The Last of Us will end up being a video under that new series. Life is Strange. Most everything you can think of from the original Life is Strange will probably be in there. Some things like that. Hellblade will be in there. But think of other games that maybe... that I've either played or that you just, you know, the plot in it is so like, and screw Kingdom Hearts. It takes like 7 hours to explain the plot for that. Don't make it a convoluted plot. Make it one that there's real character development, real plot points, real things that take real insight, and or something that I could give my own real perspective on that isn't cut and dry straightforward. That's what we're talking about tonight. Ideas for this new series about me talking about, to start off, video games, analyzing them, whether they're characters, their plot points, or whatnot. In the members chat below, and only in the members chat below, give me ideas for games that you would like to see an Everyman's Guide for, and titles that you can think of for a compilation. Make it short, and hopefully include the word compilation. Are we all clear on that? I hope we are, because I don't want to offend anyone when I end up deleting when someone tries to put an idea for a game for an everyman's guide. That's one of my shields when I all of a sudden I have to delete it, because I don't want that to be with the crowd watching. And I don't want the title, which I would like to premiere a title to the masses. I don't want that title to be just on a live stream where all of a sudden some masses might see it. And some of those masses I know are gamers that have their own channels. You give them a good idea and they're going to just run with it. So I'm really trying. I'm reaching out because I've just picked my brain so hard. I don't know what to title it. I just don't. So thank you for listening to me ramble for a second. Feel free to speed it up ×2 to get through all of it. And I hope to see you guys at the members only live stream tonight. And if I don't, then this video will be posted in the donor section of the Discord, where we can continue on the conversation there. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your help, and thank you for your support. And I hope to see you at the, wow, it's raining hard now. I hope to see you at the live stream tonight, to be able to talk about what we're going to do for this other new series where I analyze things. Bye.